Hey everyone, Senrai Kai here. Today I'm going to be watching the 12th and final episode of the VTuber anime. And if you see something black wiggling around in that direction, that's my cat's tail. But anyway, last episode was great because we had the Alice versus Mashiro just competing over who loves Aoyuki the most, who her true waifu is. We had a lot of great stuff there. Had almost like a two pro wrestlers kind of like word battling each other, on stage, right, with the microphones in front of the audience. It kind of had that feel to it. But a lot of fun was had there. But we also had the Hadoru stuff, which is gonna hopefully come back into play with this episode, where she agreed to do the concert, and she brings up her IQ like any true intellectual would, I guess. But this has something to do with why she agreed to it. I don't really understand because I don't have a high IQ, but maybe we'll get an answer in this episode. One can hope, right? But yeah, this could be a fun episode if we actually do get like a concert with Haruyu and Aoyuki involved. That would be great. So, you know, last episode, hopefully it's a good one. So let's jump on in and find out. But like this has been my favorite show of the season out of like all four or five that I've watched. So it's gonna be sad to see it go, but that's how life goes. So let's jump in three, two, one, play. And that's our girl. Recognize those crotches. Oh, it's got some of this. She looks so normal compared to them. Well, good for you. Stay as always, yeah, bye. Mm. It's nice to see Say, I gotta say. Head pat, head pat. Oh, Yosh, Yosh, it's okay. I think we always need to worry. I think we always need to worry about you. Yeah, we're on the same page. Say. I bet you did all over the floor. I left her just poking her head in the frame. Yeah, that's still a secret. If you had a higher IQ, you would understand. Yeah, Deepa indeed. Calm down a little bit. It's fine. An opening that we're gonna get for the last time. Oh man, I'm really gonna miss this show. Season 2 when Taskaru definitely knows how to perform that part. But yeah, that's another like Hololive VTuber thing. Is that the VTuber will sneeze and people will say Taskaru, a little bit hard to explain what it means in that context. But basically feeling blessed that they're doing that, feeling grateful for it. I vaguely remember that being a thing, but I could be misremembering. I think I've said this before, but my memory is pretty bad overall. Sometimes it's a blessing or a curse, depending on the context. Gonna miss our big baby for sure. Surf that wave, girl. That drunk wave. Why does the show have to end? Why can't it just keep going forever? Kampai. Yep, that transformation. Like a Maho Shoujo transformation almost. As soon as she gets alcohol in her. That was a nice touch. That should be a thing. Maho Shoujo anime. Girl gets drunk to unlock her powers. Kind of like the Maho Shoujo version of the Drunken Fist, I guess. That's right, gulp it down, girl. Gokun, Gokun. Naniga, she says. Oh? Oh, the fake one. No need to lie. That does look pretty good. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm sure you are. Having beautiful girls fighting over you and everything. Having lots of fans. As a great senpai. Hey, is there room for one more? And then I was too late. You're gonna get fat, Awayuki. Which I guess doesn't matter if you're a VTuber. Asagiri Hareru. Right, I didn't read that fast enough. I was getting tripped up. That's a big number. World Boiled Egg Olympics. Is that a thing? Okay. Is that was all for this moment? These two do get along pretty well. It's nice to see. That is the biggest mystery, isn't it? Oh, I would love to. Get nice and close to that opie. I don't hear anything, but I mean my hearing's not great to begin with. But she just nervous to be alone in a room with you. This is all. I'm not gonna lie. It's starting to sound like you're flirting with her a little bit. She's got Mashiro, so be careful. She already has to fight Alice for Hawayuki. Not sure she can handle battling Haruto Senpai as well. That's a nice outfit. You know, I already thought she looks a little bit like Subaru in some angles, but here we go. It's like we're just jumping right into it. Let's go. Never mind, they teased me. You put the camera back at the venue. Eccentric. She's just everyone's senpai. Okay. I gotta say, Aoyuki looks really good in that. Yes, yeah. Now that is a nervous Aoyuki. You got this, girl. Don't worry. True. Yeah, I think that helped. And she just teleports on stage, as you do. Yeah, just magical, magical invisible beer. That was not beer. That was not water. Just crack open a cold can of water, drink it with the girls. And this water's got me so drunk. Likely story. Gotcha, yes. And there's the reveal. That was a fun little thing they did. Fun little bit. Yeah, cans of water isn't really a thing. I stayed at a hotel once that had cans of water. It was very weird. But I guess it's technically possible. All the streamers. All of them. Now this is what we've been waiting for. Okay. So very special. Like an SSR. You know, in gacha terms. Well, now I'm definitely curious. Because it's gotta be about Aoyuki. Is it gonna be just a love song? Because that'd be something. You're making me want to hear it more and more. Like me. Come on, give us your true feelings. I can't hear you. Did somebody mute you? They're not gonna tease me like that, are they? Bunch of blockheads around her. Okay. No wonder she's everyone's senpai. They're prototype VTuber. That's why she has such a plain design compared to the others. Off goes a mask. Actually, kind of getting chills. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's not really something we can be happy about. Okay, I was hoping a butt was coming, so I didn't want to say anything. The stream that started everything. We've had some fun times. The RGB zoom in. There we go. That's what I wanted to hear. Oh, I will listen. You have my permission. My support, my encouragement, my blessing, you have it all. There's the lights. She's just a little bit smarter. But I'm getting chills again. And there we go. Yeah, what do I do? The panic is real. Maybe we have to drill it into her again. Let's go. What is it? Diamond dust. And here it is, finally. We can go full Miku Miku dance on the stage together. There's a diamond, yeah. They made the diamond together. Gotta love Aoyuki's hair just going wild. The camera works pretty good overall. Back to 2D. But now everyone accepts me. Alice. Diamond Dust.mp3. Though, I think it's nice. Those moves. Bring our feelings together. That was great. Encore. Encore. But no. No encore. Newbie. You're kind of confusing it. Just everything all at once. Why not? I mean, it was a can of water. Really. This is our how to do. It feels so weird calling us up a newbie. I mean, I get it, but it feels weird. Oh, yeah, that's the original VTuber. I remember her. Because I watched her like a little bit when it was like when she first popped up, and then just kind of forgot about her. Forgot VTubers was a thing until I started watching Hollow Live years later. And man, they're showing a lot. Crack open a can of water. Yeah, you can't tell me it's over. Yeah, find yourself a girl that looks you the way she looks at got you 0. I kind of want to rewatch this show now. Is there a good reaction series for this show that I could watch? Please let me know. Yeah, Alice's terrifying room. But like, what a fun cast of characters we have had. I just wish Sei had more screen time, especially because she is voiced by Kobayashi Yu, which I don't mention her much, but she is in my top 10 favorite voice actresses. Thank you for watching. No, thank you for making this anime into a reality. Something I never thought would ever happen. a VTuber focused anime that's actually good, that doesn't feel just like some kind of out of touch, lazy cash grab sort of thing, but like real, real VTuber essence. But anyway, that was the 12th and final episode of VTuber Nandaga Haishin Kiri Wasuretara Densetsu ni Natteta. Yeah, speaking of that title, like, I know I gave that title some flack, the last episode or the one before that. I know there was some episode where I was like, I'm not a big fan of the title, but in this episode, when Harudu kind of brought up just how that was the catalyst for a lot of the stuff going forward, I can't knock it anymore. Like, yeah, that was an important moment. Her forgetting to cut her stream. It's still a mouthful of a title, not very intuitive to say it. Like, that's still a valid criticism. But as far as that being the topic of the title of the show, I think it's legit. Like, I'm not gonna complain about that anymore. Not after that. Not after she said that. I can't. But anyway, time to actually talk about the episode chronologically, like I generally try to do. But but yeah, we got. I mean, the episode really was focused on Harudu, which is nice because she's kind of like always been around in the show as like a great legendary senpai. Everyone knows her. She's kind of a big deal. I still remember the one scene where she like, you know, one of the girls. I think the implication was that she was like doing an impression of Harudu, and Aoyuki was responding to her accordingly, but no idea she was talking to the real Harudu. And then we had like the car drive where she's driving with Harudu and doesn't know it. Like we had a lot of fun little moments with her throughout the show. So she's obviously an important character that's usually been kind of behind the scenes, which is very much intentional by design because that's kind of like, even in universe, that's kind of what she's going for. She wants to support her Kohai, right? She doesn't want to like be in the spotlight. She just wants to, support them and all that. That was kind of always her big thing. So finally have an episode like this after she did go through character development that was a big part thanks to Aoyuki having that all happen in this episode, in the final episode. It all works. It's all really good. We got to see the two of them enjoy a hot meal together, which was a nice little scene. Because I mean, they have pretty good chemistry. Like I feel like Aoyuki has good chemistry with most people, really. With of course the best being Mashiro, but I think that's part of the reason why she's so popular is that she can hang out with anyone and she can jive with them pretty well, right? But but yeah, like we finally got the concert all set up. Aoyuki a little bit nervous, but everyone's there to support her. And got the little like picture that they just showed her. It was just like, do your best, Awa-chan. And she got on stage. But we also had like the surprise, there was a surprise, but we also just in general got to fill in a lot of the blank pieces of that puzzle that is Harudu. Like she gave us a big hint before about being related to her IQ, and we definitely got the answer overall. Like the past, how she felt as a result of her IQ, how that kind of you know had like a chasm between her and her classmates as a result of that, and how she had to like put on the mask and all that. But once you're able to actually become a VTuber, you can actually be yourself, and you'll gather an audience that likes you for who you are, and it's all good. So yeah, her main lesson learned was basically the classic be yourself thing. Like not to oversimplify it a bit too much, but that was kind of the idea, right? Aoyuki stopped her boring facade that she was doing, which initially Harudu kind of looked up to that, like wanted to aspire for that, but then saw Aoyuki be yourself, gain a lot of success as a result of it, and that had a big effect on Harudu as a person. And now she's like reborn as a VTuber. She's able to do it, have fun, and just have a great time. Have all the girls by her side, including Aoyuki for literally for the performance. Right, we had her singing and dancing together with the Diamond Dust, a collab song that was definitely made for them. Very fitting. I still like the moment where they made like a diamond with their like both sets of hands. That was a nice touch. But like the dance in itself, the animation was passable. I would say the camera work, I would say, it was like above average, and the song itself was very nice. Like I don't want to like go full critic on the overall performance, but it was good. Like in a perfect world, it would be 2D animated, but I'm not one of the people that get like fussy about that. I know some people do. Some people will just whine and cry the second any 3D animation pops up in their anime. There's people like that. I'm not one of those people. Even if it does look a little bit stilted and not great. Like I watched Kimono Friends and loved it. I'm not gonna complain about 3D animation, even if it's not great. Like, because to me, it just has a nice little charm to it, right? So, Like, I don't understand why people get upset about it, really. But in a perfect world, I would prefer 2D animation for sure, because I think it just looks better in a lot of ways, especially with like facial expression stuff. Really just can't be matched with 3D animation. It's part of the reason why live 2D became a thing, right? To kind of compensate for that. But but yeah, the tangent aside, I did love the little gag thing with the drinking water, like cracking up in a cold. Probably, Gachi Zero was like, "Oh, that water. Are you sure you're drinking water? Oh yeah, yeah. This water's great. You know, you seem pretty excited for drinking water. Yeah, this water's great, man. I'm just so thirsty. Like this water's really hitting the spot." That was a fun little back and forth that we got, and I enjoyed that. But but yeah, showcasing like a bunch of VTubers, which I assume they're all real ones. I don't recognize most of them, and I remember, Kizuna Ai, like obviously, because she's the big one. But I'm going to assume the ones they showed were all real. Actually, I think I may recognize a couple of them, but either way, they're probably all real. But just kind of had our ED, and that was that. So my thoughts on the show as a whole. That's might take a minute, but yeah, like I said, when I went into the show, I had pretty low expectations. I'm like, okay, probably just some mediocre show that like where the people behind it like, yeah, VTubers are kind of popular. We'll just do that, like somebody that doesn't really know much about VTuber culture or anything like that, just like knows the thing, knows the basics, like there's a real person behind a camera pretending to be some kind of fancy anime girl role playing it. People eat it up, throw money at them, whatever. We'll make a story about that. Like I really did not have high expectations for it, but then I actually watched it and it's like you got real like references to real VTuber stuff. We got like just pretty much every, I mean, at least most of the aspects of VTuber culture I can think of were represented here. We got like ASR. I think ASMR streams were mentioned. Let's play collabs, like off collabs, just like anything I can really think of. Like even some iconic games that they would play, like Getting Over It or Project Winter. Ao Oni, like that was a big surprise right there, right? The fact that they really did get some real games to Let's Play here, and they went all out on Ao Oni. Like the other ones, they showed a little bit. I mean, even the Project Winter reference, like, I mean, they showed a lot of it, but like in a well, I don't know if meta is the right word, but they were like in the game itself, the characters. I don't even know what's the right word to describe this. But I'm trying to say it's very different than actually just showing them in the screen in front of them, which is what they did with Aoni. Like there is no, hey, I'm in the dark, scary world now with my avatar. Like for the most part, it was just showing the game being played while they were outside the screen, right? So definitely different. Like I don't know why they only did it with Aoni, but it was definitely unexpected. See what else. What else do I want to touch on? I mean, the cast of characters really couldn't have asked for better, right? We had some characters that felt like they were references to specific Hololive members, like well, we had a little cat girl, which was probably supposed to be Okayu, right? We had Say. I can't really think of too many examples of that I can make like a one-to-one comparison with, but you can definitely tell inspiration came from some of the Hololive members for some of the characters here. But speaking of Say, I just wish she had more focus. Really, like it was entertaining whenever she was on screen, right? Like you could do a lot with her character, but yeah, I feel like she was a little bit underutilized. But I mean, there's probably other ones that were as well, but Say is the one that jumps out at me the most because she was one of my favorites. But Shion was also one of my favorites, and we got plenty of her, so pretty happy about that. But yeah, especially we got the mama stuff and how she was treating Aoyuki when she came over. Definitely some unexpected stuff with that. And that was probably a big appeal of the show too, which is how many unexpected stuff we got. Like a lot of episodes were not very predictable. Like the Shion mama stuff, like seeing all those like mother books or whatever on the shelf. Really was not expecting that. I assumed the worst when I first saw it, but then it became great because it was just like a weird role play thing. So definitely as great as that could have been. But then we have Kaioru, the baby role play, pacifier, like pacifier sucking sounds, sound pretty yabai, gets in trouble. That was pretty funny. But I mean, it makes sense to have a VTuber like that, like adult world scary. I'll just be a baby. I'll instead of getting a real job, my loyal fans that enjoy my babiness will just throw money at me so I can pay my bills. You can't beat that as a concept. But we had all that. We had our main girl Aoyuki, which was really great. Like the voice acting job with her was probably the most impressive of everyone. The Aoyuki's voice acting, but she's an entertaining character. Her character design was one of the more I don't know if bland's the right word, because Haruhi was the most bland. Aoyuki was just like, I don't know, I'm just like a princess, I guess, I don't know. Like, meanwhile, we have demigod cat, fox girls, we have, cat girl, like, she's just like a person, Like, so it does kind of make sense to have your main girl kind of like that. But, but yeah, she has great chemistry with everyone. But Mashiro definitely was the best. We had a whole episode dedicated to their relationship, and it was the best one, really. Like, uh, like I'm just gonna like rewatch an episode periodically throughout my life, and just kind of remind myself what a peak Yuri one shot would look like. Like it was so good. And then we even have like another episode where she's kind of like where Mashiro is battling Alice, the other girl that's in love with Wayuki, battling her for her affections. So we got to keep that going through that. But but yeah, like a show like this really wouldn't work unless you had a great cast of characters to support it. The characters, of course, being the VTubers, the online VTubers, and we had a great cast. Like I really couldn't have asked for better. Like some are better than others, like obviously, but like there was no one that I really thought dragged things down. Right? They were all good. And Haruhi, of course, was a very fun one. But still remember that car scene. That was definitely one of the most exciting reveals in the show. Just like, hey, this random driver is pretty chatty, like, is this person important somehow? And like, yeah, it's literally one of the VTubers of the company, literally like a founding member, literally a 160 IQ girl, literally gonna dance and sing with Aoyuki in the final episode. So yeah, she was important. So so yeah, the show, just like every episode, it was consistently enjoyable throughout. There's really no episode that I didn't like. I mean, early on, I complained about the excessive running joke of the Gotchi Zero. I think it was episode 2 in particular that like really started to just grate on me. But they dialed it back after that, so it wasn't a big deal. So I'm not going to complain about that. But it was a little bit of a scare with the rest of the show. But the rest of the show turned out to be great. And well, I was hoping for like a season 2 announcement at the end. Like I don't know how much more of the source material exists to be adapted. Really, like it feels like there's plenty left. I mean, I don't know what I'm basing off of, but I hope there's plenty left to showcase. But I don't know. I'll look into it later. But as far as shows that I like really got into, sucked into the world, got drawn in by the characters, like nothing else this season compares to this show. And like, because I'm just kind of skipping back and forth the final episode, just kind of trying to remember things to talk about. And as I do it, like the loneliness, like the feeling of sadness for just being done with the show, it just kind of just it's engulfing me more and more. So I should probably just kind of end this off. But yeah, really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Greatly surpassed my expectations. Would love if they gave me more. I would happily watch it. Hope you enjoyed my reaction to it. If there's other reactions to the show that you watch that you think are good, that you would recommend, feel free to recommend them to me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.